I think she's building a garden. Hi guys, Matt Dyan. Welcome back to OK
garden.
Aussie.
Mini brands for garden.
Gardening. Zero mini brands
What
create.
does my doll's house need? A garden.
Yeah, but I've seen what you do with gardens. There's a cute mini garden. Don't look shocked to me.
It's true.
Seriously.
It's true. I kill every plant.
Well, only for plastic, but even the plastic ones manage to die.
No, they get cleaned and dusted.
Okay, and they lose a lot of leaves then. What are they, deciduous plastic
the cats
plants?
eat them.
If you had that problem, tell me below, because I'm sure we're not the only ones.
No, but like, I would actually be into gardening, but I live in an apartment.
Oh, I know, right?
Okay, and I can't stay in the apartment balcony ground, otherwise I'd be going for it. We have had beautiful gardens previously in houses along the way. We had a fantastic veggie garden. That was fantastic, organic grown. Lots of pumpkins.
Healthy stuff. The pumpkins were enormous, weren't they? Exactly. We had chickens then as well. I also had a lovely bonsai garden. They were quite cute in miniatures. I love things in the small.
He kept them alive, but not me.
Well, I kept you alive, but no, you don't keep them alive. Anyway, we're doing the garden all for your
this is for my. This is
doll's
not
house.
for kids. This is for
adult's house.
Adult's doll's house.
An adult's doll's house.
All right. So basically.
Yeah. Where are you going with it?
You guys can still see it. I'm going to open it up and let's see what.
We haven't done one of these before, so this is a new version for me.
We
anyway.
haven't.
Okay, I would think I might hold it over here, keeping it safe. A round thing with Dyan.
Now I'm going to leave that to the side.
Apraxia, watch out. Warning, there's any neurological things that could happen as the afternoon goes on. We are on standby.
I've had a
Please
slow
stand by.
day because I woke up with a migraine thanks to my neurophysio.
Lack of sleep, migraine. You had that neurophysio yesterday. That got the brain going and the eyes, apparently.
Yeah, no, we're going to have to keep an eye on that, so...
Excuse the pun. Eye tracking, sorry. If you don't get to see the video on eye tracking causing seizures.
Like it might not.
Photosensitive seizures.
Like, guys, I might be just too far gone.
Yeah.
Literally, that might be my reality. Yep. Anyway, so let's see what we've got.
While you're unraveling that, and it's funny because you're talking about gardens and homes as well. We've just been going through a bit of the exercise.
Boom.
Boom, I like the boom. Bring on the boom. We've just been going through the exercise looking at the potential of... Could we take a holiday? Are we able to go away for a night? Are we able to have a couple of nights away?
Yeah, a couple of nights.
What's the cheapest option? You know.
Oh, no.
Minimum what?
Can't have a camper
5 nights
van.
in the camper
Minimum
van.
5 nights.
To get it going. And then some of the places...
Like what?
Well, most of the places are way too expensive.
Why
cost of
are
living.
you so socialist?
They're making profit, honey.
No, you're socialist. It's disgusting. I want it for 2 nights.
And
rude.
We've got difficulties. We can't just go and take a tent.
Oh, no. If I was single, I'd be getting a spoiling, going somewhere for a spite.
Oh, under the end, yes.
Even though, like, I'm high care, probably 2 to 1 will be dramatic.
Sure,
but anyway.
but you could do it.
But I would be able to do it, but without him.
But I'm not allowed to come.
Nah.
Because she has to get respite, even though I'm the one who has to provide the informal support, so I don't get...
Yep.
I know, there's no logic, right? I'm the informal carer.
So we don't get a
24
holiday.
by 7.
I
We
would
don't
be
get a
going
holiday
off
together.
with people. That's not a holiday. Holiday is when you go with family, right? So at the end of the day, there's the thing of what possibilities.
Okay, I'm going to look at that. So,
you know, I think that's disgusting. And then when we look at hotels local, then when we look at going to my hometown, I just can't afford it.
No. Because it's the travelling, cost of petrol, accommodation, parking, food. And you know what's like being medically complex, you've got to take a whole range of different things with... Oh, there's a bonsai tree. I like that. I might actually get a bonsai. What's on the other side? Like I said, I haven't seen this once before. So this would be quite nice for your doll's house. Adult version doll's house. Okay, so it gives you instructions on how to make. I'm liking the look of this, potentially. We don't know what's inside. You never get to know what's inside it until you open the... What are you doing now? Are you playing with your hoop thing that I got you, your little stimmy toy? Do you want to show them what it is?
You can show them. I've got my glasses.
She's got the unicorn. This is like $5. It's one of those little bubble things where you pop it and the hoops fly up and you try and get... Oh, I'm getting them on. Oh, can I move it?
There's 2 bags in
this is pretty cool, actually. Sorry, this is quite captivating. Let's see if we can get them all on. Well, I've got some. This is quite good,
UV glue. This is to go in the...
Sorry, we're playing over here. Do you mind just entertain yourself for a little bit? We can almost get them. Okay, I'm sorry. It's quite addictive.
Guys, this is a UV glue, which is just resin. Now I'm going to roll it in my heat pad to heat it to make it more
pliable.
Yes.
Viscosity needs to
And
be
then
running so it
you
will
don't
work.
need a UV light. All you need to do, UV is just the sun.
Ultraviolet.
Okay? Youngins?
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in all this rubbish that the government says, oh, UV. It's just the sunlight.
Okay.
On steroids.
So we'll put it outside in the sun then.
Exactly.
15 minutes.
20. It
Should be
depends
right.
on the item. 15-20 direct sunlight for 15-20.
So what are your thoughts though, coming back to the conversation of squeezes while we're doing this?
Yes.
Holidays are a refreshing thing. It's
No, but guess what?
What?
Why is it that we can't afford it on a pension when, I could die any day? I'm sorry, do I not deserve a last holiday?
A break
Apparently
away.
not.
A
And if I do,
chance to get away.
I have to go away from him, which why would I want a holiday away with strangers rather than family if this is my last days on earth?
Does it make sense?
I'm sorry, but there's a problem there.
A lot of problems.
And it seems to me that the single people get everything, and if you're in a couple,
Yeah.
I feel discriminated. Government,
Actually,
I want you to change that,
Yeah.
okay? And
No.
I think that married women should get a
No.
disability pension.
No.
I think that it is discrimination that we are made to be dependents. Now that I didn't, because I'm a traditional wife. I'm happy to live off. I'm a trade wife. I'm happy to live off my husband's income. However, if that is not possible, and I am disabled and cannot work or stay in work long enough, which has happened to me in my life due to my 22q.
Hopefully this sparks a bit of a conversation of awareness.
Why
first
is
of all.
this my fault? I don't get to have a bucket list because I can't access my super. So there's no box to tick saying, are you going to die sooner? Because
Total and permanent disability.
exactly.
Side of things.
Like if you turn to a certain age group and you know you're going to kick the bucket at a certain point because you're elderly, you guys get to get your super. I can't touch mine without penalties for my age group, despite the fact that I won't
And that's the
live
tax that comes off it.
till elderly.
And
It's
limitations of
disgusting.
what you can get out.
I'm not happy about it.
But
And yeah, you
anyway,
say what
so
you
I was
have to
hoping
say.
for obviously being able to take Dyan away simply for a night or 2 nights to break routine, to be able to change the momentum, see something different. Hello, little Mags. To have an opportunity to try something different so that it does feel like
You
a
might
bit of a
have
refresh.
To go away.
Going to hospital is not a refresh. No,
Max,
you don't have to go
You're
away.
going to go in the other room in a minute.
You're not going on the other room. Mummy, how dare you? I'm here to play. What does it do?
Don't know.
I don't know. I'm here to help you if you need it. So anyway, that's what we're thinking. We're hopping on, TripAdvisor and Booking.com.
I'm over it.
We were looking at farm stays
Sad.
and all the other sort of things. And could you hire a camper van thing, but it's got to have certain functionality
Minimum
and
5
features.
days. No. If it was 2 days, I'd go,
I
yeah,
know.
let's do it.
And you still have to then hire.
No, but it's a minimum
or pay
5
caravan
days.
fees as well. Anyway.
Why? Why is it minimum 5 days? I wanted to go up to Nanga Mill in Perth.
Oh.
Rude.
But even that you got to book these days. So anyway.
Rude.
No spontaneous holiday at the moment.
No
It's
holiday
okay.
for us because apparently, Make-A-Wish is just for children. And if you're an adult, just suffer.
They don't actually have,
Okay.
as far as I know, equivalents for it.
I
so,
don't think you should say
anyway.
that children should be the only ones that get something.
Who
I'm
might
sorry,
be going
but
through
that's-
stress or more
Of course they're
benefit
going
from.
through stress, but I'm going through stress. Do you think that it's fun that I don't get to have Europe holidays in my elderly years because I won't make it? Okay? You're just going to have to go.
Come here, Maxie Poo. Come on,
I'm
buddy.
sorry, Max.
Sorry, mate.
He's a kitten.
Borrow you for a moment. Today's conversation actually brings up 2 good little points. Matt will just put in his room for the moment because he's getting a little bit too excited, a little bit too in there. He wants to be a little bit too involved in this process. One, you've actually brought it out.
What?
It is difficulty to access your super. We looked at that
Empty.
the year before when we were trying to find, well, how do we find a solution to get a wheelchair accessible car
Okay,
to be able to take
that's
Dyan's
another one.
wheelchair anywhere around?
Yes.
And to do so, combining both of our superannuation, Dyan had
One
worked for a
step.
little bit of time, so she got a little bit of super, and I've obviously worked for quite a long time. But to do so was still, because of our age group, only limited to be able to take $10,000 each. You then have tax that comes out of that, so let's say it's the equivalent of $3,500 comes off both of that, so it's $7,000. You really then only have, what, $13,000 if you combine the two of us to then be able to utilise in buying a wheelchair accessible van or car. They start at 50,000 and above, right? So that becomes a no-go sort of option. Taxes are around about $3,500 on that 10,000. So, but it's the same sort of concept, you know.
Yeah,
how
you can't get enough, and it's not based on individual circumstances.
No.
I will die, and the government will happily go, that's mine, and you'll have to fight for it.
Yeah, and it is a difficult thing. It is a bit of a conundrum, and I'm wondering if you guys have thought about this sort of thing with the complexity of aging, with the complexity of disability. You know, as a carer, for example, I no longer, because I'm an informal carer, I've had to give up my career, my corporate job, my businesses, to be here full time, which means I don't then have an income coming in. I just get a pension to support Dyan full time around the clock, 24/7. I know it's stupid. It's not as if the NDS pay me a remittance for doing the work that they do. If I'm not here, they're then paying probably equivalent of $1 million in staffing to cover the high needs 24/7. So you can see the logic around. I'm saving the government, as all informal carers do.
Yep.
I think it's equivalent of about $15 billion a year
welcome,
or more.
Government,
That's what informal carers do.
Don't say that they deserve to come to respite with us or anything. No, don't give them respite with us because they've given up their income.
I'd have to pay for that separately.
Punish them by going on a below the poverty line, you know, money coming in an economy where food is expensive.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? Would you prefer that he steps aside and you spend millions? I don't think taxpayers, you guys out there, would want that.
No, well, for you to go away, you have to have the equivalent of two to one, to high intensity, so that's high level competency, nursing equivalent staff to look after you because of the complexities of your healthcare.
Which would cost
That's
a fortune.
expensive exercise. There is no logic in the system. I'm sure you guys know this. And again, in the comments below, please, do you see some of the rationale, some of the conundrums, the problems that actually come here? One, I'm thinking, conundrum is a good word. It would be great if I could go, you know what, Governor, hey, I've worked really hard for 25, 30 years. I've got a lot of super. Can't I just tap into that and use it now to help my partner out? Whether it's to travel, but whether it's to get a disability-friendly car so I can put a wheelchair in.
No. And also, I want a van to deck out because I'm not a fancy person. I just want to go camp by the river, camp by the beach, camp in the bush. Okay,
which is affordable.
I just want to, and now that the cooler weather's coming in, I want to go in the bush.
Yeah, just bush. She was an old bush girl, this one, an old farm girl from way back when. But that's the equivalent to try and achieve that. So I think it has sparked a bit of a thought process, and obviously there's some limitations, you know, minimum 2 days or minimum 5 days in the hiring and those.
And even places to stay. Even some places to stay, they're doing minimum 5 days.
And that's not even going into then looking at accessibility.
Can someone who knows ACCC, because ACCC is no longer funded enough to answer the phone.
Consumer complaints.
Anyone who knows ACCC, is that legal? Because in my eyes, if I went into a fish and chip shop and I'm poor and I said, look, I just want like $5 worth of chips, and they go, sorry, because you're only buying chips and not anything else, we're not selling it to you, and so you starve. Is that what we're turning into, is it? Is it really? Is that the society that we're turning into? I think we need to think about that.
I guess it's a supply and demand.
That's
by doing
so,
they're forcing the holiday tourist to purchase that amount of time. But not everybody comes back to accessibility. Not everybody can access that pathway. And when I was saying accessibility, a lot of these accommodations too, you might be able to afford, but it doesn't mean I can get in there with a wheelchair. They might be on a multi-level, there might be stairs orientation. You know, the bathroom toilet might not be. So that throws in a whole nother degree of complications.
There's no chairs, their showers or anything. It's
absolutely.
Their shower chair.
No. So it's like, well, what do you have to bring everything yourself? How do you? You would need a van to bring everything along yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just start.
What's the glue for?
That's a reality check. Look, if you've had the same sort of conundrum, as I said, and you've had to go through this same sort of thought process because of disabilities, complex disabilities, sickness, or whatever else, how do you get around them? How do you manage to do these sort of things?
Exactly.
You look like you're doing really well.
If you guys have any ideas,
yeah, I'll be interested. It does look pretty.
I'll show you guys in a minute.
I'd be interested to hear thought processes. Now, yeah, we can do a certain amount of roughing it, but the realities are, as you see, Dyan's meant to be complex.
That too. Like I've got to be safe.
Regulation, safety,
but guys,
electricity.
Yeah, like I don't. It's really sad. I love being in a swag.
Yeah.
But you know what? With the amount of homeless and the amount of crime,
yeah, so there's a fear factor of risk, absolutely.
Perth is not safe anymore. It used to be.
So where do you go?
It's not.
Yeah, but then there's also the experiential factor. It's not just a matter of let's go to a place that's got a room and a bed. You want to be able to go to nature. You want to be able to pat a horse, see a goat, play with a llama, chase a duck, have a goose chase you, whatever it might be. But it's
they do
an
chase
experiential thing.
They're cruel.
That's the benefit. That you're actually breaking pattern and routine.
They're bossy.
They are bossy, a bit like you.
They bite.
So a bit like you.
Ow in the butt.
What did you just do then?
No, I just went.
Is that?
I remember.
Are you having your trigger from the goose?
I had training wheels, but anyway, I used to ride my bike.
Right.
And the geese used to buy me on the bum.
No wonder you rid so fast now, I'm sure. It's a motivation to get going. Do you want me to take that off? I'll take that
No, I'm looking for the... No, I've
okay,
got this myself.
Alright, wait for it. Explosion. You need help for yourself. That's fine. So anyway, that's part of the conversation.
That's what we've been going through.
But it also becomes a little bit depressing. I'm going to be honest. It's like...
I'm really upset
now. You try all these different options and it's like...
And now I'm like...
Stuff it. It's like, it's too hard.
Stay home.
And it's like... Yeah, you might as well just not bother and try. Then you got to think creatively. So we do think creatively. Don't get me wrong. We're very upbeat, positive people. We will.
Wipe.
Wet wipe.
Wet wipe.
Oh my
Pause.
god.
Wet wipe.
Wet wipe coming.
So sorry, guys.
Apparently, I should have got wet wipes ready before she started this. I told you it should be an explosion. You didn't believe me again.
No, I just said like we should have done that before the video started.
What
Don't
is
touch.
that?
Don't touch. It's a cacti.
Oh my god, I'm not a cacti fan.
All right, I'm concentrating. You tell
you
the
focus.
People all that stuff.
And what stuff?
And
I basically said it. So we have to modify. We have to, I guess, pivot and look at other opportunities, which we do. We'll do day trips from home base, which is really what we have to do. We'll play games. We'll motivate ourselves internally, but
it's not
sometimes
fair.
That becomes also a little bit of the doldrums of familiarity, and Perth is a small place. It's like it's not as if you haven't seen everything once you've been here.
Born here.
I mean, we've lived here. We haven't really
I need
that far.
break.
We know what's here because there isn't much here. It's way to wild. WA, Western Australia. There ain't much here to do, unfortunately. But I do have a list, and I will show you this too. So, here we go. So under this folder, which I actually happen to have available, done more daily support tasks. That's all your tasks. That's all your roster. We're very well organised. Tasks, rosters. And then there is a trip. It actually lists literally every place that we possibly can go, how far away it is to travel, what the website is, what times it is open, whether it takes the companion card, what's the cost for the pensioner rate, even does it have Acrod parking, what their phone numbers if I have to contact somebody, an email if I need to email for more questions, and the names of things. And that's all created so that I've got a quick little view of everything, and I even will tick off if we've been there, so that we've got a tally list of all the things that we've explored that are accessibility friendly for a person with disabilities and affordable. Okay, that's the other part of accessibility. It's got to be affordable to be able to access. So at least we do have that, and we'll obviously utilise. Are you gluing your top parts to your plant?
I'm putting water drops.
Oh, that's lovely. Little glistening drops of water that's now going to drip off because you put a lot on that one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to pivot and try those. And I guess that makes us home base, at least with a hospital bed, all the facilities. Anytime that we go out, we're obviously taking oxygen with us. We take the full med kit with us regardless. I would just like to be able to build a van life.
I actually just want to be in a van in the bush. Nothing's the same.
I know. And the reason why we say van, and we've said this for a number of years,
not working? Mine is definitely
so that Dyan can lie down. And particularly, obviously, out and about and travelling, the more that she can lie down. I joked once I was going to buy an ambulance. Dead set, because it's like...
Well, you're not, because I'm not going anywhere. It's traumatic.
It's the concept of being able to have a ability for her to lie down and have at close range all the things that you actually need when you're taking a medically complex person somewhere. Because just even sitting up, the travelling from here to just to go to her doctor's, for example, half an hour away, her blood pressure will increase massively by about 40, 50 milligram points, but her heart rate will increase up to probably about 215, 220 from a baseline of 50, just because of orthostatic intolerance. And of course, that then wipes her out, makes her more at risk, respiratory distress,
that's my hair.
seizure risk. There are so many things to have to balance. Does that come with it?
That's my hair.
I'll take your hair. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's my hair too.
Okay, could you try not to put your hair into the artwork?
I think it was the headband.
Oh, okay. Those pearls do actually probably. I'm not going to put it on. Thank you very much
Put
for
it
asking.
on Lotso.
Not so. Okay.
Okay.
So, did you have any other sort of feedback for the peeps now that you're building it?
I just feel very sad, and
that was the other thing. Sorry, the Make-A-Wish thing. And you brought that up as another comment, and I just want to circle back around to that.
Don't tell me off because I'm not a child, and only children suffer medically.
We respect children. That's not a problem in that sense.
I was the suffering child too.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Nice. Be nice.
I'm sorry, but I've had abuse about that, and it's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was late diagnosed at 48. Didn't know I was going to die soon.
And
okay.
You come through some pretty horrific stuff without
wasn't
any
prepared. And I was a sick child.
And supports. I get that. But there are programs
Missed
out
out on
there.
a lot of things as a kid. No, you have to sit inside because you're sick. No, you can't go there because of your head being swollen with mosquito bites. You can't do this because this is this. I was that child.
The one that missed out.
I'm going this week to get a helmet for my head.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that great? So fashionable as a woman.
Epilepsy,
and I'm telling you,
I know
that people go, oh, but it's essential and it's good, it's wonderful. But guys, there are still bitches out there that act like, ew, what's wrong with her with that stupid helmet on? She must be a retard.
We get that enough as it is in a wheelchair for a younger person.
So people in Australia grow up, accept disability like other countries do better with, because I am sick and tired of the judgment. I'm sick and tired of the stares. And that's why I want to get away in a van to the bush.
Yeah. Because sometimes it can be a little bit confronting, and it does actually dent you along the way. And I get it. I mean, I've seen it. Anytime that you park in an ACROG parking bay, you got all these people, eagle-eyed, coming along,
they come and check my sticker right in front of me.
What disability do you have? Do you really need to have it? Oh, you have got a wheelchair.
And he's putting the wheelchair in the boot, and I'm
like, seriously, the judgment that goes with that. And even just in shopping centres and in condensed city living, you do have a lot of judgments that come with it. So I do understand that.
I'm in a bad
mood. That's okay. The desire to get away from all of that is actually a good thing.
That's what I'm needing.
Because it's a refresh. But I want to come back around, and I know you shat on the concept, and look, we're not negative on the fact that children should be helped. I get that.
No, but I'm not saying children shouldn't.
Humans. I'm going to clarify, please. No, all humans of all ages should be helped.
I did not say that children shouldn't get it. I said so should adults.
So, as I'm saying. I'm just clarifying, because if anyone does
come back...
If an adult
is going to die in their 40s and 50s, I'm sorry, tell me now in the comments that you think I don't deserve it. Tell me. Because that sounds really shitty, and that makes you look like a shitty person.
And I'm sure that we won't get it here, because we've got a good community of people
who
guys
are supportive.
But
I'm just saying,
we'll sometimes get the occasional wacko troll.
No,
I had one wacko troll recently.
Competitors, actually.
Yeah, but it's more competitors and people just people want to drag people down. It does happen.
In social media, when you become an actual vlogger,
on social media.
People don't want to, like, the other vloggers, start competing and stealing your content and doing all sorts of weird, dodgy shit. And
it's actually very difficult.
So annoying when you spend so much time putting your heart and soul in designing what kind of channel you want to be.
The effort that goes into content.
The topic each video, because we want to make sure that we produce. Exactly. And 100%. Then people just, and I'm talking about people stealing intellectual property, like you look at their videos, it'll come up on socials and you'll go, that's 5 topics that I did.
All sequentially after each other. Exactly
Only 3 can be a legit coincidence. Okay, look at mathematics. Anyway.
But it actually, and you brought up another point too. There's a lot of vulnerabilities. A lot of vulnerabilities for people, particularly with autism. Dyan also being 22,
I get
huge,
taken
needs a
advantage
guardian.
of, and I'm mad.
There's risk in the online space.
I'm mad.
So what she is doing is exceeding just even being on social media, because there's a vulnerability of
Doesn't
trolls and
matter.
nasty people who snipe and do bad things. We've got a lovely community who are actually very supportive, and I really appreciate that. Who also recorrect these type of people
too, because you know in your life people try and put you down for your disability and make, take advantage of it and twist and turn it and throw it against you. And you guys know what I go through, so I know that you guys understand. I hear it in your voices, in your words.
And I appreciate the passion of where you're coming from, because it's important to actually
I've just had
your
enough.
perspective. Your perspective may be different to mine. However,
Absolutely,
actually mine's
because you're
the
a
same.
carer
Actually,
and I'm the patient. There's going to be
I
differences.
actually find it incredibly sucky as far as a carer goes, because in all seriousness,
I think it's sucky for carers.
Me trying to get respite in the last 6 years, hasn't happened, because they don't have the competent staffing to be able to support Dyan.
Because I'm medically complex, and guys, if I had just cerebral palsy or something, I'd be okay. But I'm medically complex. I have multiple things because 22, I'm missing too many chromosomes. So basically, cat burn now. I'm done. But basically, I feel sorry for all you carers who are in the same situation as Matt, because in all the rest of the family go live their own lives. They all say, "Oh no, we'll step up, we'll help," but you know what? They don't. All they do is want to stir you up emotionally, poke and prod you, and tell you about how wonderful their life is, and then they walk off and live their best lives and leave you behind. Families don't leave people behind, guys. We're a village.
Shouldn't do,
and
but in
so
that case have
you're
done.
the only one that legit hasn't left me behind. Everyone else has. They've slowly, including friends, and some of my friends might be stalking too, they've all slowly just gone, it's too hard. Whatever. Yeah. So we don't get anything. We don't get anything.
The funny part of this,
you guys to me mean the world. That's why.
And that's what we really appreciate
I love
again
you guys,
about the
because
connection
you understand.
on our channel. But the oxymoron part about this is that the NDIS, the Australian government, actually expects for people with disability to have their first line of defence is to rely upon informal supports. That is, if they're in a relationship,
bring my sons
probably
and
about
my parents
85
then.
to 90% of people with disability
Good
don't
luck.
unfortunately have a relationship. They will then rely upon their parents or their families,
Good
siblings.
Luck.
Good luck
Bring
on
mine.
that. They might then want
They'll
the expectations of their neighbours to be able to chip in and help.
The church and the
then
community.
the churches.
The street people. Neighbours? You meant to ask your neighbours.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I went, Australians out there, or even you Americans, you might find the same thing, or UK, or wherever you are, okay? It could be in South Africa, it could be anywhere. But imagine knocking on the door. Hey, will you do a 4-hour shift every Wednesday for me?
Yeah.
Like,
There are some
seriously,
really...
people are struggling to put food on the table in Australia and put money down for rent and mortgages.
Yeah. There are some very good people who obviously give totally out of their head. They give literally the shirt off their back in the community, particularly those who maybe even retired and have actually looked at repurposing,
and some good providers, like what we're
particularly
under.
from a perspective of they've looked at how can they volunteer in the community. And look, they are the absolute soul of the earth type of people.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of those to go around. But the fact that the system actually expects and relies upon that first before, and that's why I feel so sorry
the ones that really
for those with disability who are struggling, who don't have an informal support.
Oh gosh, yeah.
All right?
Guys, we could all be in that point at any point. So even though I have this, at any point that could change, couldn't it?
Oh, look,
you
absolutely.
could be gone
I
tomorrow.
could be hit by a bus tomorrow. Hey.
So, no, but I'm just
wanted
saying,
to,
like,
it could happen.
That will be me.
Yeah, and that's my greatest fear.
If he's gone tomorrow, no one will step up. My family will pretend to step up and they'll do this, this, and this. And then when it comes to the hard stuff, when they realise the system's broken, in the NDIS, in the medical system, they'll go, this is too hard. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Just lie in bed and shut up. I'll feed you and maybe give us some
Because it actually takes thousands and thousands of hours typing and emailing and phone calls and meetings and
it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that.
But you guys who are carers and you guys who are patients like me, we all know this.
100%.
We know this.
But coming back full circle to what we were talking about, look, the Make-A-Wish concept, that should be considered for people of all ages
if you
who
have
are
a
going
life
through
limiting thing. 25, 30 years off your life.
Now look, there's probably going to be some people in the comments who'll say, oh look, there's
Heart
things like the
condition,
Shroptimus Foundation or some sort of charitable organisation who might be able to help and do things, and I'm sure there possibly is. And you've got to go out and sort, you've got to go and find, you've got to present a case, you've got to put a petition or write a statement or a story.
For my medical care at the moment.
Don't have time. And then the disheartening thing of,
do I have a flight clearance at the moment? Not at the moment.
You don't even have a hydrotherapy clearance at the moment.
No, I don't.
Or flashing lights. Ooh, watch out, flashing lights coming at you.
Oh,
seriously.
Please don't go there.
Do you want to show the people at home what you've actually made? Because it's been a good dual conversation at the same time. So we've had a good conversation about why we can't do a holiday.
We haven't had a holiday in 15 years, so you can imagine we're upset. But anyway, let me show you the beauty of this. This is for my doll's house. So this will be in the garden. So there's a rock. There's the beautiful flowers and greenery. Nice. There's the trowel.
Trowel.
And can you see in there a little... Can you see the little snail?
Oh, this is a snail.
Oh, okay. So he has to go in the UV sunlight, direct sunlight for 15, 20 minutes.
What's the other one?
Now, I ended up stealing. This is not in the design. I redesigned.
Okay,
Sorry about that, mini brands, but I did. Because the cacti was ugly.
Okay.
So I thought it needs something on its head.
Of course you did.
Otherwise, it would have been just that green thing, right?
Well, at least it's got some pink.
So I took a flower off.
Right.
And I put it on the top.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually quite like that idea, to be honest.
Some cactuses, as you know, have flowers. So
they actually do.
They do. So this glue, it is pretty much like resin. So you do need to wash your hands. You can wear gloves.
Yes.
But just use a wet wipe. Like just grab a wet wipe that you've got lying around. I don't know if you have wet wipes, but if not, paper towel, like put water on it, squeeze it out, shake it out, use that, get it off your fingers. But otherwise, you're fine. I use a freezer bag to work on so that I don't get this UV glue, like resin glue, basically, onto my table.
Very clever.
So this
I
is going
think
in
you
the sun.
have done exceptionally well. So
now
well done, you.
I've got some garden starting for my doll's house. So that's a good thing.
And you've actually put it together very well without using the instructions, which are actually available.
I was watching it.
Okay,
that's what got me through. Do you think I can do this without instructions? No.
Not on your Nelly.
He thinks I'm better than I really am.
So this is the Zuru Mini Brands Create. It's actually for 6+ years of age, and it is the garden. This is the collector's guide. So,
if you're a gardener, you should get these things, and you can put them on your bookshelf, or they look cute. They really, really do. Like I've got a lot of mini, not everyone's into miniature stuff, but I do find that sometimes these things, I put them on little shelves here and there. Oh, it's like a little pop, isn't it? I've got a little iron in my laundry, and all my carers go, "Is that an iron? Oh, that's so cute." So, did I get my hair in the resin?
I'm hoping you didn't. Resin and hair should be tied up.
So basically, I love miniatures, and so this is something that you don't have to use for anything, but you could just pop it on a shelf on your bookcase.
Well, I'm glad you have, because you have created a beautiful, tranquil environment that we actually do get to relax.
Please have things to focal points in your room when you're not well is so important.
It helps take your mind off the pain or the processes or whatever it might be.
Surround yourself with beautiful things. They don't have to cost a fortune.
No.
I mean, people think all of my stuff is expensive. No. $2 shops. Man, I have got a few items that are beautiful lifetime pieces, but I go to Reject Shop, Kmart. So it's not expensive. No, exactly. It's just about the designing of it.
I just want to give some people an example. One of the places that we were looking at was Perth Observation City in Scarborough. That's got special memories
for our honeymoon.
From our honeymoon,
the first stop was
30+ years ago.
The first stop was there after we left Mindari Keys, which is where our reception was, but we went to escape the family because they were all still staying at Mindari Keys. We're like, bye. You're not sharing our honeymoon with us.
No,
that's not happening.
Creepy. No.
And then we went to down to Busselton Broadwater, which we always used to take our kids. We'd play tennis and we'd go into the pool. Oh, that one's cool.
I know. I get that. Something which we can't do at the moment. But the reason why I was saying that, just as a comparison, you can't go in at the entry level rooms because they also don't have the facilities. So one of the facilities I was looking for example, was a bath. You've got to go up multiple levels of accommodation before you actually get to the ones that have a bath or a spa bath, for example, but a bath. Because we can't manage a shower facility out and about without a chair and all the other functionality because of a person with disability or for static intolerance, the heart that goes off and respiratory. So that's, I just wanted to give you an idea of, well, can't you just go for the $180 a night package?
Much no,
you've got to go minimum at a $445 off peak, worst day of the week, just to get a
and medical equipment
as an example.
In the car.
Yeah, I need a trailer for all that.
You know?
Seriously, I need a Sherpa to bring all the stuff with me up to the hotel room.
The Broadwater Busselton, beautiful. We used to go regularly. We used to get a villa with the kids, play tennis. There was an indoor pool and spa.
That was fun.
And while they watch TV, you can go to the restaurant and have a meal. It's beautiful.
It is.
As long as kids are old enough. Don't do that to little kids. You don't just leave them in the room on their own. No. Our kids knew where to come and get us.
No, exactly.
But,
right. Well, I think you've done very well with your garden creation. Like I said, it's the Mini Brands Create Garden from 0-6 and above for ages. You handle it like a boss. We're going to put it out in the sun and get some UV for at least 15 to 20 minutes to solidify that part so that the glue hardens in that regard. I'm hoping that today's conversation has also been a bit of a spark. It has got a bit of a rage in it. It's got a bit of a downer in it. It's got a bit of information in it. But this is also the reality of expectation. It's like people. I've heard people recently say, "Look, you should just go away for a holiday. You know, just freshen everything up." And it's like it would. But then we look at it and go, "How do we do that?
We just.
How do we afford that?
You know what?
Where do we go? How do we achieve that?"
Since moving, we spent $1,500 on a car. Yeah. We spent $1,000 on a new laptop because the other laptop is dead.
Yeah, died.
We just don't have it, guys. Like, pensions don't cover you for new phones. No,
I mean, you still don't cover the food, medications, and everything. You know what cost of living is like. So anyway, I just wanted to put the topic out there because there's a lot of people who
You're all in the same boat, I'm
we
sure.
miss out. If you're a low socioeconomic person, perhaps underneath the poverty line, you're just struggling to pay the rent and get housing. You might be multiple jobs.
People struggling.
There is a lot of... The divide is huge. And when people who have got disability go, I would just like in my last few years of my life to be able to go, hey, let's do something cool and relax and have some fun.
What?
It's not always that achievable or possible.
Exactly. And can I just say to any businesses out there, can you just take into account this type of stuff? So maybe you can design a line where you go, right, disability or, you know, and look, there's proof, paperwork proof that people can show to say, look, we're not saying this to fraud you or
Here's
something.
Here's a sentiment card that says you've got disability.
No, but I mean, even my diagnosis to say that, like, this is a risk for me that, yes, I don't have long, but...
just that's your doctor there. Sorry.
But basically, like, there is ways of proving it. But if you run a business and your business is anything to do with holidaying, please take into account holidays for people that, whether it's elderly, whether it's cancer, whether it's disability and the person is at risk of dying. Please just open your heart a little bit. I know you're a business, I get that. But there has to be room for this because we are a village.
Correct.
We
as a community,
it's bloody un-Australian, actually. I'm sorry, I must say this. Remember Australians that are out there that are listening to me right now. The Aussie battler, what did we used to do? Oh, Bob, he might need the lawnmower. Make sure, you know, you
help a mate out.
Make sure you're passing the lawnmower when you're finished with them. You lend them your lawnmower, right? Because you know they can't afford it.
One last clarification I just want to put before we wrap this topic up. Days gone? If you are a single participant on the NDIS, you do have access. If it is in your plan, it is in your NDIS plan to be able to have respite days, but you need that coordinated with your coordinator and a plan around that. But the reality in our situation, that means Dyan has to go off by herself without her primary support, and her carer would have to be a high-level supports needs carer, 2-to-1 because of the coordination of eyes on and their availability, and they have to be very well trained in medicine, seizures, and cardiac and respiratory and all the other crap.
And it just wouldn't be a holiday.
And you'll just be on the phone to me going, "How you going, Matt?" And I'll be going,
"Well,
"How you going, hon?"
No, but with my autism and you're my person,
I know.
I'd be in tears.
I get that.
I wouldn't be, like, you guys see me as high functioning. I'm not. And this is why you need to stop saying low function, high function. There is no such thing.
Autistic.
I cannot survive without my person. Now, my person is different people, but I can't survive without my people. And my care workers are not yet my people because they're new. Even though I've been here 6 months, like, people with autism take a long time.
They're all new.
We only have certain people we click with. It's just who we are. And so it just wouldn't be the same. And I would be going, where's my person?
I'm hoping this has been a good conversation for the people.
I'm sure some of you guys can relate.
If you have got any,
I think they can relate. Some
comments,
of them.
questions, ideas, and suggestions, leave
Say
them below.
below.
I'd love to hear your comments
If you've
around
got
this particular
any
topic.
like solution, comment below.
Ideas, what you do as well. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Yes.
Dyan is a person with disability. She has multiple rare conditions.
22q.
The umbrella, the top one, 22q, 11.2 deletion syndrome. All right,
and
guys.
autism, ADHD, OCD.
Tourette's, seizures, and a few other things in between. All right,
We'll
guys.
see you the next video,
Will
guys.
do. As you pan out to your plants.
Bye.
Bye.